Welcome to Silver Krome Gardens. I'm Bill Rolante, and I'm going to take you on a tour of the nursery.
When we were building this house, I got the price on it and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to outlay that much money in this economy.
Yeah.
So I said, Mike, do you want to split it? Because just this greenhouse is like 3 times as much as any of my other greenhouses.
Oh, wow.
The price. So Mike's like, yeah, I'll split it with you. So we split this greenhouse down the middle. This side is mine. This side is Mike's.
Nice. So there's 8 tables?
Yeah, 8 tables.
Dang, I should have got Mike here. And we could have did his side, your side.
He's probably gone by this hour. He
That's
usually
fine.
leaves early. Because he does a lot of eBay sales. So in the afternoons, he spends at home packing everything up that's sold and shipping it out.
Nice.
This is circus peanuts times chocolate crystallinum.
Whoa.
It has a lot of the characteristics of circus peanuts, including the ridged petioles, but it's much darker than circus peanuts.
Yeah, it is.
Caterpillar ate the holes in the leaf, so I thought it'd be funny to put the flower as like
Weaving through.
weaved in it as it was growing. And then somebody was here the other day and they decided it'd be funny to put the new leaf through it too while it was still growing up.
Look at that color.
This was from my seed batch of Monsteras. This one we named Key Lime Pie. It comes out white and then fades to a green minty color. You can see the color of the new leaf.
Yes.
I thought it looked like a key lime to me,
Yeah.
so that's why we named it Key Lime Pie. This is Paul Marcellini's hybrid. Swampy Nuts,
Yes.
which is a sort of a circus peanuts lookalike. A lot of people get it confused with circus peanuts.
I can see why.
But you can see it suckers more than circus peanuts. Sends out a lot of babies from the base.
How do you have yours growing up like that?
I don't know. That's the way they grow for me.
That's crazy.
I didn't know they grew any different than anyone else.
A lot of people's grow out more like this.
This is that silver Peru, silver angel. You ever seen the little...
Green, the little silver guys?
This is what they look like when they get bigger.
No way.
People don't see them
That big.
when this big because nobody ever gets them that big.
Yeah. So how long did it take to turn green from silver?
Not too long. They lose the color pretty quickly
That stinks.
when they get bigger. I mean, it's still a nice species.
Oh, yeah.
This is a species from Brazil. This is Theophyllum.
Whoa.
It's interesting. I still haven't been able to figure out what this is. It's not a variegation. It's just weird.
Oh, it's
This
on
is
every leaf, too.
This is a Colemanii hybrid I made.
Ooh.
I only got one seed that was viable, though.
What did you mix it with?
I think I lost the label. I think it was Faustino Clarinervum.
Ooh. That's really pretty, though.
This is one I got from a friend. This was an Ace of Spades seed seedling that had a square petiole instead of a rounded one. And you can feel it. It feels like it's super thick. Not
Oh,
like a regular
wow.
one.
Yeah.
So I call it Ace of Spades polyploided because it probably has an extra chromosome. This is Anthurium superbum seedling I found that has a slight twist to the leaf.
I see that.
So I liked it, so I kept it because I like the twist. And it has a darker leaf color than a regular one.
Yeah, it does. Oh, look at the twisty there.
This is Luxuriance hybrid. This is Luxuriance crossed with the Lila Mianu. So that's where it gets the delta form to it.
I really like that.
This is Stripey. Stripey won Best in Show. That's a Tim Anderson hybrid.
Stripey won?
Yeah.
Of course Stripey won. He was the mascot.
This was a Dressleri hybrid that we made. It was turned out variegated, so
Ooh.
I kept this one for myself. It's Dressleri times Magnificum times Papfort Sherman.
Is this also stripy?
Yeah.
Oh, I see the tag now.
I have 2 mother plants.
Now,
This
how many
is-
people have stripy? It's you and...
I've sold a few.
Oh.
Some people have it now.
They're really expensive, though.
Yeah.
Really sought after.
This is the same hybrid as the front. Circus Penis crossed with Chocolate Crystallinum, but this one had wavy edges to the leaf. Slightly different.
That's
Daryl likes this one better. I like the other one better. We'll see who wins in the end.
That is so cool, though. Why do you think it does that?
I don't know. Genetic diversity between the 2 parents.
Crazy.
This is Anthurium Fat Boy. It gets a super round leaf.
Wow.
And some of them, the babies have variegation to them. This is a really cool one. This is Anthurium rhodolanteum crossed with Repap.
That's pretty.
That's the only thing I've ever been able to get to mix with right.
Really? What is this guy right here?
That is Cunulence.
That's a beautiful leaf.
Paul gave me that one.
I like that.
This is Splendidum crossed with Carla Blackie. This was from Scott Cohen.
Wow. Is it finicky like the Splendidum?
No, not as finicky as Splendidum.
That's beautiful.
This is an Indonesian hybrid I got from Indo. I like the way it looks, so I kept it for myself instead of selling it.
That's really pretty. Do you know what it's crossed with?
No. They sold to me as a papillomnum. Obviously, it's not papillomnum, it's something else. But
Yeah.
this is one of Daryl's hybrids. This is Carla Blackie times Soul Reaper.
That is insane.
This is Morticia. Morticia was the only one of the... no, we had 2 of the batch of the Black Widow Michelles that looked similar to Stripey, so I kept this one for myself. The top cut is hanging in one of the baskets over there. This is Jay Vanini's Rio Clarence Wild Hybrid, or Wild Swarm.
Oh, wow.
He found this one growing in a batch of Rio Clarence, and he said it must be a hybrid of some sort. He's been selling these on eBay for years. I got one for myself. It makes really cool hybrids.
That is beautiful. I think I got one of the hybrids from you recently.
This is Ace of Spades crossed with Dreamweaver.
That's pretty too. Nice dark with the purple.
This is an old Tim Anderson Red Crystal.
Wow.
This is a dark forgetti eye. I got this one from Gilberto, I believe.
What is the difference between the dark and the white stripe? This.
They have the veination is not as darker and not pronounced. This is Amazonica purpley with an aria variegation to it.
Now,
And then this is Amazonica purpley with an albo variegation to it.
did you make purpley? Or did
Purpley is one I found in my nursery.
That's-
Originally, we were buying Amazonica, and I found it in a bunch, and it looked different, so I kept it. And then afterwards, I reintroduced it to the tissue culture lab as a new variety. We called it Purpley because the emergent leaf has a purple sheen to it.
It's beautiful.
This is actually Mike's Amorphophallus he got in Thailand. We don't know what species it is yet. We need to see a flower on it before we figure out what species it is. But this one, most unusual at the Aroid Society show last week.
That's crazy.
This is a wild form of Alocasia tigrinus superba. My friend gave me this one. It's a little bit different than the one that you see coming out of tissue culture labs. The leaves seem to be a lot bigger than the normal one.
Yeah.
This one we call Necromancer 2 because Necromancer 1 passed away, but this was a seedling from it. But it has
beautiful.
good emergent purples. Somebody at the show last week broke the leaf, though.
Dang.
Oh well.
It happens.
Leaves come and go. This is Jack of Clubs, my hybrid. This is Carla Blacki times Magnificum times Dark Forgetti Eye.
I did not know what Jack of Clubs was mixed with.
This is King of Diamonds.
Okay, that's a pretty leaf.
This is Faustino Mirandi times Clarinervum times Ace of Spades. And one of them I selected because it was different than the rest.
It's dark, and the leaves are hard, like
Yeah.
really thick. What is going on here?
We
won't show
got
that.
some algae exploded in the greenhouse when we put it in because of the sprinklers I put in the ceiling. When we first opened the greenhouse, we were having it wasn't humid enough in here. So these go off every half an hour to increase the humidity in the room. Because if not, it would be too dry because of the fans always pushing air through.
Oh.
So, and then when I put that in, we started getting algae growing on the leaves. So now I put in a copper ionizer to kill the algae. And you can see that it's starting to die.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll take a while to get rid of it all.
How long did it take you to get everything right? Like the temps and figure it all out?
It took a while. It takes a while to figure out something new.
Yeah.
Especially, nobody has greenhouses like this down here.
Yeah.
You see them up north a lot. But because of our humidity, our temperatures, it's a lot different using them than other places. So it takes a while to get things dialed in. We're just starting to see the right growth we should be getting. And it took I'd say 9 months, 10 months just to get it dialed in correctly.
Wow.
Because even though you've been doing it a long time, you've never been doing it like this before.
Yeah.
So you have all the computer controls and everything is computer monitored.
Yeah.
And that's all great. And you can look at the numbers. But when it comes to figuring out what's wrong, what's right, it takes a little while of messing with it to figure out how to make it work correctly.
Right.
This one, Pablo at Dade Plant Company gave me. It was a seed sport he found.
That's beautiful.
He liked it, so he gave it to me to grow it out for him.
Is he naming it something special?
I have no idea what they're deciding. Him and Mike are scheming about naming it something.
What is
This
that?
is Alocasia portii variegated. I got this at Thailand show.
That is insane.
I always wanted one.
I'm not a big Alocasia fan, but oh man, look at that.
This is a tree that Daryl bought in Thailand. It costs a lot of money. We thought we killed it bringing it back, but it survived and it's now growing. So we're happy about that because it costs like $1,000 to get it over here.
1,000. It feels very fern-like.
It's probably one of those prehistoric species. Probably been around since the dinosaurs.
That's a really cool little tree.
I don't remember the name of it. Daryl remembers.
I'll send him a screenshot of it and be like, what's this tree called?
This is Mancuniense, like the cat.
I love it.
That's a species.
Is this new? Like a new species? I've not seen this one before.
It's been around. Ree Gardens grew them for years. I've been growing them a long time. I originally got my first one from her, and then I started growing from seeds.
I like it. What is in front of you?
This is supposed to be Xanthosoma pubescens, is what I've been told. But it's slightly off from all the pictures I've seen of Xanthosoma pubescens. So maybe it's a subspecies or another species affiliated with it or something like that. I don't think it's type correct for that species. So if somebody finds a name on it somewhere in some obscure book, let me know. I was told it came from Peru, but I'm not quite sure. Evidently, Marie's been growing it for a while too.
Interesting. I always want to pop them, but I know better.
These are hybrids. This is Jose Bueno crossed with Gloriosum.
What?
And this is Jose Bueno crossed with Billiettii.
Billy.
We have a bunch of seedlings on this bench.
Wow.
This is Scindapsus burkharrii. This came out of Costa's R&D lab.
I like
This will
that.
probably be available in box stores in the near future.
That's exciting.
So you'll see the reason why we built this greenhouse the way we did is because our other greenhouses in the summertime, we get no pollen because it's not cold enough. You need like a 10-degree drop between day and nighttime temperatures to get pollen. So you can see in the middle of our hottest months, we get pollen on the flowers. But in our other greenhouses, we get no pollen. Now, the flowers are female fertile all year long, but not male fertile most of the year because of our temperature.
Wow.
Which puts us behind the 8 ball because people growing in their IKEA cabinets and air-conditioned houses can get pollen all year long, but we can't. So our breeding season had only been usually January until May. And then now we have breeding all year long. This is Lassia spinosa variegated. It's a cool, spiky, aquatic aroid.
I still regret not getting one from Mike last year. Look at that. Spiky.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful. The back of the leaves are also spiky.
I like plants with provenance.
Yeah.
And this one has provenance. That's Philodendron lindstromii.
What?
And this plant was given to me by Anders Lindstrom, the man it's named after. He is the curator for Nam Nook Botanical Gardens in Thailand. And wonderful man, very friendly, nice guy. I got to private backstage tour of their facility there. It is like Disney World for plants. They have everything, and they have acres of everything.
Oh.
They have more double coconuts than anywhere else in the world. It is just like a candy store for plant lovers. If you're ever in Thailand, I really recommend going there.
I'm going to go with you.
This is one he gave me from his personal collection, and I'll always treasure it.
Does it grow, is it epiphytic or hemiepiphytic?
It probably grows up trees really well.
What do you got right there? What is this guy?
Which one?
This big one right here. I like.
This is another pap hybrid.
I'm obsessed with paps. Every year I'm like, I'm not buying another pap, and I think I bought 2 from you. Just you.
Yeah. This is one we call Dr. Spock because it has big ears. Has a really nice venation.
Yeah, it does.
It's a Carla. It's a complex Carla black eye hybrid.
Dr. Spock.
This is a Black Widow Michelle. This is Anthurium panamense.
Ooh.
I got this one from Scott a few years ago on one of his purges.
I don't think I've ever seen one so big.
I make things big.
Yeah, you do.
I don't like them small. I want to see what they look like in the wild.
Me too.
This is what my friend gave me.
You have some
This
nice
is
friends.
Watsoniana type that was variegated.
Very nice friends.
I do. People like me because I'm nice to everyone. So they always give me cool plants, and then I grow them up, and I bring them to the Aroid show, and I let other people see them and appreciate them for what they are. That's what I love about the Aroid show. I can bring plants, and people can be like, wow. I'll never get it that big in my house, but now that I see what it looks like, it's just amazing to see what it could possibly be.
Yes.
This is Anthurium, I think, peltatum.
Oh.
This is one I got from Rory.
Back about me.
Fred Muelleri. That's a species.
Interesting.
This one was a cool one. This was Silver Doriaki mixed with Black Widow Michelle.
That is beautiful. Makes like a little cup.
This one I was super cool to get. This is a native of the rhubarb plant. And I was able to get this from Top Notch Joan. You know Joan?
Mm-hmm.
Last year's Aroid show. This is 1 year's of growth.
Whoa.
It was in a 6-inch pot last year. And I've had trouble growing it because the iguanas keep on trying to eat it.
That's crazy.
And they keep on pulling off all the leaves. So I had to move it in this house so it wasn't anywhere the iguanas could get to it.
AKA the penis plant. Penis plant. Yeah. Do you see the...
This is a crazy cross-sectional hybrid. This is Antiochiense crossed with Vitiae.
What?
And then crossed onto Red Queen. And then crossed onto SKG Silver.
Holy shit.
So it's a super cross-sectional hybrid with at least 4 sections in it.
That's insane. This is really pretty too.
Variegated Jacqueline.
Excuse the mute. Bill's dogs had a lot to say all of a sudden, but I had to show you this Jacqueline. Bill was in the process of sharing how he planned to take it to the show, but one of its leaves dropped. My partner was so surprised by the odd texture since the variegation hides it so well. After this third Alocasia, I realized he's actually becoming a plant person. By the time we hit Rogers the next day, he was pointing them all out and even fell in love with some crotons. Crazy, right?
That's a Red Beauty hybrid.
Now, what's the difference between the Red Beauty and the Moodeanum?
Red Beauty is a hybrid of Moodeanum with one of the regular flowering varieties.
And how do you tell which is which?
The leaf shape is different.
Okay.
The flower's different. Red Beauty has more of a light pink, and Moodeanum has more of a reddish flower.
Gotcha.
And then the leaf shape is more long and narrow on the Moodeanum and more wide and round on the Red Beauty.
Okay. I can never remember which is which.
This is a cool species of Calathea I got from Paul. If you feel the leaf, it's fuzzy.
Yeah. Look at the flower.
This is my Carla Blackiites Bessie AFF. It's a really nice hybrid. Has a lot of vigor. It takes away a lot of the problems the Carlas do with growing. I bought this one in Ecuagenera last year. It's a little ovate leaf climbing one. I mounted it on there to try to get it to climb. They don't really know the species. They just put a name on it.
That'll be exciting when it gets bigger and you'll see what it looks like. Is this the Red Beauty Veitchii cross?
That is Red Beauty and Veitchii. That one's from my friend in Hawaii. She sends me her hybrids all the time to test out for her. See how they grow down here in the heat. Hawaii is like the perfect environment to grow plants. That sort of cloud forest temperatures.
Yeah. Maybe I need to move to Hawaii instead of here.
Mike has a property there just to grow plants out so they grow faster.
Wow.
This is true Bessier. They actually did DNA testing on it and they found out it's a bird nest anthurium.
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
So it should be able to breed with bird's nest species. Have you tried it yet?
I have not. I should try that this year.
Yes, please.
I got this one from Enid.
This the clumper or the
It's the
crawler?
single, but it's clumps because it's been in this pot for a long time.
Gotcha. Nice variegation. Oh man.
This is Colmanii. Not many people get them that big.
Yeah, mine is tiny.
This is Amorphophallus titanum. This one was given to me by Kampong.
Wow.
Kampong is David
Also-
Fairchild's old house. They turned into a sort of botanical garden,
It's beautiful.
but in Coconut Grove, Florida. It
What-
looks like it may be going dormant soon. Starting to suck out some of the energy from the leaves.
So they go dormant here too, even in
Yeah.
Florida?
They'll stay up for like 18 months and then they'll go dormant. And they'll come back up again.
Where is the Colmanii from? Or,
Brazil.
like, what's the history of it?
That's a Brazilian species. Comes from the Amazon.
Is it lowland, highland?
I think it's lowland. It grows pretty well in the regular greenhouses. If it was highland, then it would not grow very well.
That makes sense. What do you got here? This little white guy.
This is Alocasia poly silver ghost. It's a mutation of poly I found in a tissue culture batch. And I grew it out.
It's crazy.
It's hard to believe it actually grows with that little chlorophyll in it. But it grows pretty well. It doesn't really have any problems.
I would not think it would grow at all. That's beautiful.
So, the concept behind the wet wall is this is what's called a pad.
Okay.
And the pad has water dripping down it. So you have a pump in here with a holding tank. The holding tank holds the water. It pumps the water up to the top. The water drips down slowly. As the water is dripping down slowly, you have fans in the other side of the house pulling the air out of this greenhouse. That air pulling out creates a suction. That suction pulls air through here. Then the humidified, cooler air, because the water is colder than the outside temperature, gets pulled through there and cools the greenhouse as it's going across until it gets to the fans and gets sucked out again. So it's always sending cool air through here. It's like basically a primitive air conditioning system.
So how
And
much?
I actually added a cooler to the water tank. So this is a pond cooler, and it's cooling the water tank, so the water coming down is slightly cooler than it would be without it.
So how much cooler does it help? Like 5 degrees? More than
It
that?
is 78 degrees in here. It is 86 outside.
Wow.
So that's a
8?
12-degree drop.
Wow. That's crazy.
I think my favorite new plant that I hybridized this year is over here somewhere. This one. I brought it to the show. Thought for sure I'd win an award for it, but didn't.
Whoa.
I've been calling it Anthurium manta ray.
I love that.
It is a Justin Carla Bess.
That is
It's the only one that showed up with a negative sinus on it. When the sinus started drooping.
That is so pretty. That is really pretty too. That brown. What is the one over on that side?
I think that's a Justin times Dorito port.
I like the color. Where are you from?
This is another Justin Carla Bess, I think. But it doesn't have the negative sinus. It just has sort of a flat one.
I like your negative sinus one.
No, this is Justin times Dorito port. That Justin plant makes really good hybrids. I got that from my friend Justin Schumann in the west coast of Florida. He's a cool guy. I saw him at the show for the first time in a while. That's my Winlingeri collection. We have like 15 different varieties of it.
I only know of like 3.
8 of them or something. He's counted, I think, so far.
What? Let's go back in the jungle.
I feel like I should have Welcome to the Jungle playing over and over again on loop.
I agree.
This is Alocasia teacups.
That is so weird.
It was a mutation they found in Thailand. Mike bought one. No, Mike bought 2. There should be a second one somewhere out here.
That is so weird how it holds the water.
And it's never produced any pups. I've had it for like 5 years and no pups.
That's crazy.
It's the weirdest Alocasia.
Is this the Chumley?
That is the Chumley from Robert Chumley.
I want his story.
His stories were always very grandiose.
Yeah.
Probably not the truth, but grandiose.
Oh, wow. You have a huge Amorphophallus.
That's Paeonifolius.
How do you remember all the names?
I'm good with that.
Just how your brain works.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You should talk to my dad because he's like a genius and I'm like special in comparison to him. This is berry mint.
Whoop, let's slide.
I got it from Barry because I like plants with histories.
Me too. That's growing very big in that pot.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I haven't seen one that big before.
I've not seen one with that big leaves. Barry had a tall one, but it didn't have any leaves like that. What is this? This is what I walked over here.
That was given to me by a friend, but Marie used to grow them. It's supposed to be a species. Not quite sure it's a species. Maybe it's a hybrid or a mutation, but it's quite weird.
Yeah.
Sort of like, looks like a clavidura mixed with something else.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I got this variegated orchid from my friends in Thailand. They were nice enough to give me one.
Okay, that's...
I love these...
big fat leaves.
Yeah, unfortunately that one smells like, the flower smells like death.
Those are my favorite kinds.
The Bulbophyllum phalaenopsis, they smell terrible. Yeah, it's really a nice plant though, but the flower just smells. Yeah. You just want to not go near it.
When I was at the Atlanta Botanical Garden, my friend Nick and one of the volunteer members convinced me to smell this flower. They pulled it down for me to smell, and they were like, oh my God, it's the best smelling flower you will ever smell. So I walk over and I go, I nearly threw up. It smelled like hot dog crap. Very lovely. I did not trust them after that. What is this? The Red Beauty Beachy?
That is my Red Beauty Beachy. My dad bought it at an Aroid show like 30 years ago. Everybody said it was their hybrid. Never really figured out who made the hybrid.
That's really beautiful.
That's actually probably Moodeanum Beachy. Because of the leaf shape, it looks different than any of the other Red Beauty Beachys I've grown.
I like that. You've got so much back here. What is this guy hanging up?
Which one?
The one way back with the big leaves? Is that the Philodendron?
Philodendron Chironi, I think.
Yes. I've never seen one grown out that big. What else
So it's
do you
pretty
got up
funny
there?
that I got to eat Barry's Mint's fruit this year.
Really?
And it's the best tasting Monstera I've ever eaten.
Really?
So much better than Deliciosa.
I wonder.
I was very surprised by that. I figured it wouldn't be as nice, but it's really good.
Now you're going to have everybody trying to grow that out just to eat the fruit.
I would. I'm addicted to it now.
Oh, man. I was just looking at the old leaves.
They get pretty big.
They hang down.
That's a small one, too. I have a bigger one in the corner. My personal plant. That's Daryl's. I gave it to him as a present. And it finally got too big for his tent, and he gave it back to me and said, here, you grow it.
Love that. Ash, where you been?
Causing problems somewhere.
What's going on with your inflows right there?
That was a weird mutant that I found in one of my seed batches. I liked the flowers, how weird they were, so I kept it.
What is it a cross of? Do you know?
I don't remember. I have to look at the label. I had to pull it down to find out.
So weird. So every inflow does that weird shit?
Yes.
Crazy.
So I keep a little bit of everything from Rhaphidophoras to Amydriums to Epipremnums to Monstera to... we have some Philos here. This is a rare Philodendron from Brazil, given to me by a friend. This is Philodendron inops.
Wow.
It's a really unusual species. This one was also from him. This is an Anthurium that he pulled out of his greenhouse and gave to me.
That's really beautiful too. It's got like a blue black hue on its oldest
He also
leaves.
gave me a bird nest Anthurium that has silver leaves, which was kind of
Ooh.
cool. But unfortunately, down here in our temperature, it turns green. But if you grow it in Brazil, it has silver leaves. Because he showed me a whole field of them in his nursery of blue leaves, like blue silvery leaves on them, all of them. But the second I started growing here, they all turned green because it's too hot. That's a Rhaphidophora. I don't remember the species on that one.
I love how you
I
just
got
have
from my friend in Indonesia.
pups growing off of every node. That's insane. You really like your Rhaphidophoras.
I think they're underappreciated group.
I agree.
They're the Asian Monsteras.
Are they really?
Yeah. I think, when we had Pangea and all the continents were together, they probably shared a common ancestor. But because when the continents split, I think they diversified off and have been growing for millions of years separately now. They won't mix anymore.
Shadianum.
This is Philodendron Petraeum. That one's from Brazil as well. This is one of my cool finds last year. Friend gave me this one. This is the giant Thai tetrasperma. So this one gets as big as a Monstera leaf, but it's actually Rhaphidophora.
That's crazy. And it has, oh, I see an iguana. That's the first time I've ever seen an iguana here.
Yeah, they eat the leaves. Lucky I have so many leaves you don't really notice. Some Epipremnum collection. Trying to get some big leaves on them. I love to see the big leaves on the Epipremnum. This is a cool one I got from Kampong. This is Epipremnum giganteum golden rim. It's different than the regular giganteum because it has a gold edge all the way around the leaf.
Wow.
So you see this one right here is the regular Epipremnum giganteum, and growing right next to it is the golden rim. The golden rim has a little bit more wavy edges than the regular one. And I wanted to grow them next to each other so you could see the differences.
Yeah. That's so cool. Why do you think it puts the gold on the sides?
No idea. Maybe
We'll
just
never
one
know.
popped up one day like that, and it had a competitive advantage than any of the other ones and grew better.
I love it. It's like really stands out.
This is Philodendron davidsonii.
Wow.
That's another Amazonian species. They've been known to grow 125 feet up the side of trees on the Amazon River.
Shut up.
Very hardy, good for landscape down here. This is the one they call Weeks Red Hybrid.
Oh.
It's named after Ron Weeks, but it wasn't named by him, and it's not from him. Just one day, somebody just said, "Oh, Ron Weeks sells it. Go buy it from him." And somehow they got it as it was Ron Weeks named after it, and then people started calling it Ron Weeks Hybrid, and then they called it Ron Weeks Red Philodendron.
Yeah, I met
Weeks
him
Red Hybrid.
at IAS one time, and I was like, "Oh my god, I have one of your plants," and he was like, "Which one?" And I was like, "Philodendron Weeks Red," and he was like, "That's not my plant, darling." That's how we met. I haven't been back here in a while. It's more jungly.
Yeah, I tried to recreate the jungle
I love it.
because I want it to look like a natural setting where the plants are just growing by themselves. This is Belliettii crossed with, I think, red emerald or something like that. I got that from my friend Eli at Amazon Nursery in Thailand.
I like how compact it grows.
This is the true radicans times... No. That one's over here. This is... Nah, it's the
Palladium.
luxuriance times BVP.
Where are we going? Back down here.
Where is it? Of course, I can't find something because I'm looking for it. As soon as you leave, I'll find it.
Isn't that how it always works?
It is. Ooh, this is a cool one. This is Queen of Chiang Mai. That's a hybrid from Thailand.
I have never seen that before.
And this is another cool hybrid. This is Philodendron Red Rum, another hybrid from Thailand.
These leaves feel really thin. They look like they would be really thick, but they're not. I really like this guy. That's beautiful.
That's a Texas Jose Bueno.
Have you noticed
That's from my friend.
there is a difference in your opinion?
Oh, yeah. The coloration is all different.
Gotcha.
This
And
is really cool over here. This is the two forms of Monstera Croatii.
Ooh.
These come from different type locales. This is the Capos version. This is the other one. This one grows much easier. This one is a picky bitch.
So which version is this one that is
This is
picking?
the one that Scott grows. I got that one from Scott. This is the one that Paul grows. I got that one from Paul.
Interesting.
One from Paul grows extremely well. This one doesn't grow as well. It's much. I got flowers on this one this year, so now I see the flowers. So when this flowers, I can compare them and see if they're actually the same species or not. Supposedly the same species, but they look different and they grow different. So
I really like how this is. The nodes are look so tightly connected. Whoa.
this is Anthurium pendulifolium.
I was just looking at this leaf.
My dad got this one from Tom Crowett at Missouri Botanical Gardens a long time ago. This is the mother of Big Bill.
I love her. I want to get a big bill from you before I leave today.
Well, we better hurry.
Okay.
There's Anthurium timplomini.
Wow. So do they stay very small?
Yes, it's a dwarf species.
That's what I thought.
Here's my favorite Monstera, Monstera sherburkii. It
That's
looks like it's melting.
oh.
The leaf is just so dainty and fine. The fenestrations are tiny and lace-like.
Now that used to be the
Yasuni. Finally, they got a species name on it. Thank goodness. Waiting forever to announce that. They announced it last year at the Aroid show.
and the ones on the market labeled Yasuni are a different one, correct?
It's actually the same species, but a different variant from a different part. The same way those two Croatii are the same thing, but different.
That's crazy.
The other Yasuni gets much bigger. This is the one that is in Lyon Botanical Garden. This one has that Provenance to it.
I've always loved that thing.
That's my favorite Monstera. I have a no propagation on it, so I can't prop it and sell it to people.
Gotcha.
I just like to look at it. It's my favorite plant.
I think it's one of my favorite too.
This is a variegated
That's what it
pseudospectabile I got in a trade with someone. I traded a caramel marble for this as a tiny little plant. Quite large now. Anubis, be quiet.
Look at your turtle back. It's huge.
Oh, yeah. Daryl said I couldn't grow it here. I proved him wrong.
I love y'all's relationship.
It's like, you try to grow it. I don't think you can. I said, watch me. I tell everybody, if I'm not teasing you, that means I'm not really your friend.
Yeah. You don't really like them.
That's how men communicate. They make fun of each other, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's how we show we care.
What is that guy growing back on this box back here?
That was a hot chocolate I put on there. It's some of my samples I've been making of my plant plaques. I did a class at the show. It was the last class of the day where I showed everybody how to make them.
I heard about that. So cool.
I can show you them in the office. I have a bunch left over. I made too many.
Better to be over-prepared than under-prepared, right?
Yeah, I figured if we had extra people sign up last minute, I didn't want to be short. So I decided I would just make too many.
How is that Monstera that you bred with an obliqua, the deliciosa?
You know, it looks just like deliciosa. Either the hybrid didn't take or it's just so dominant.
Have you got it to flower yet or no?
It is flowering right now.
Ooh.
I can't wait to taste the fruit. I want to see if it's any better or worse. This is more of the production house.
Now you sell wholesale and have crates, like our box trucks come and fill up,
Semis mostly.
and you send all over the country?
All over the country.
That's crazy.
We ship a lot to Thailand too. China.
Wow. Now, do you feel you make more money on the cheaper stuff or the more expensive stuff?
Yeah, the cheaper stuff.
Sense.
You sell more of it, you make more in the long run, but the more expensive stuff is cool too.
Yeah.
This is our new banana
What?
The Siam Pearl.
That's beautiful. Have you tasted the fruit yet, or is it just for show?
I have not tasted the fruit yet, but I'm told it's a Namwa. Namwa is a very cold hardy one, so this one should be cold hardy too.
Nice.
There's your big bill.
Thank you.
This is our new 4-inch line in partnership with Tazula.
I didn't realize he
Doing-
did more than Anthurium.
Yeah. Caladiums, Calatheas, Philodendrons, Spathiphyllum,
Oh, is
Anthuriums, Alocasias,
that the
Corsinianum over there.
Yep. Those are hard to find.
I have lots.
I see that.
And Burley Marks Flames.
Ooh. Oh yes.
Those
you
sell really
do.
well. Everybody loves that one.
Yes. Whoa. What do you got going right there?
I think that's a seed off of, I think, White Tiger.
I don't even know what that is.
This was my first wall project.
It looks so good.
I changed things after I built this one to make them a little bit easier to move. My goal was to be able to bring one to the Aroid show, but my wife won't let me. She likes it too much.
Is this
You'll
one
see it tonight.
concrete?
You're coming to dinner, right?
Yep.
Are you coming to dinner?
If he's invited.
Huh? You think so?
Like you said, if I'm invited.
Oh, yeah, I'll invite you.
So is this a concrete barrier or
That's
no?
concrete, yeah.
Wow.
I laid the brick on their sides so they have the holes in them so plants could grow in and out,
Wow.
and concrete them all together because I wanted to survive a hurricane. And then it has rebar in the base to hold it from tipping over. I don't want it falling on anyone.
Yeah. Has it went through a hurricane since?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. It looks like you're growing corn up there.
Nobody sees the Amidrium zipperianum get this big normally. Look how many flowers I have there everywhere.
Is that what the corn on the cob is?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen it flower.
Yeah, I probably have 30 blooms on it right now.
That's insane. Oh, wow. I see them. Yeah. It's raining.
I have a Piper species. That's the original black pepper.
That's crazy. I don't think many people know that Piper is where pepper comes from.
Yep. Yeah.
Beautiful. Does this whole system run that wall, or is this?
This runs the whole nursery.
Wow.
If you can believe it, I run 10 acres of greenhouses on a 3-horsepower pump.
That's insane.
Because everything is zones, and they're small zones.
Mm-hmm.
So I have just enough to run one zone at a time, and it runs through the cycle.
Wow.
That's the fertilizer tank. That's the injector when I turn it on.
So does this even include the new one?
Yeah. This does everything.
That's crazy. Do you know how to fix it when it all breaks?
I do, unfortunately.
Part of being a nursery person.
Yep. You gotta be a little bit of everything. So to figure out how to stir the tank for the fertilizer, I was like, how do I do it? How do I make it easy so I don't have to put a big stick in there and go like this all the time? So I put some pipes and I connected a spa blower to it, and it stirs the water for me.
Wow.
Does a pretty good job of keeping the fertilizer from settling on the bottom.
How many times does it run, I guess?
I run on the weekends.
But does it go through this whole thing every weekend?
About every month. 500 gallons a month.
500 gallons a month. That's crazy.
Well, water's pretty good down here, but it's full of calcium. That's why you get the spots in the leaves, because we use drippers. We don't really get the calcium on anything except for the stuff on the sprinkler benches. This is our variegated line of Colocaceous.
Oh, man.
That's the pink lotus.
She's beautiful.
That's why it's called pink lotus.
Wow.
Once it gets out in the sun, it turns pink with the white parts.
I like that one back here.
That is diamond icicles.
That is a beautiful color.
And then you have the red stem one, which is pink sapphire, and the diamond icicles is the other one. Selenicerius wittii, the moonbeam cactus.
I got that one last year flowering from you, and by the time I got home, the flower had kind of wilted, and I'm so annoyed about it.
Yeah,
I wanted to time lapse it so bad.
unfortunately, it's a one-day thing.
Yeah. They're growing really good for you now.
The slowest plant I've ever grown.
Yeah, it looks like they've grown a
I
lot,
got
though.
one leaf from Enid, and I've turned one leaf into this in like 6 years. It's taken me that long to get this many.
That's crazy. I won't tell them what
People
mine
don't
look like.
understand how long it takes to grow it. Why it's expensive, because it takes so long to grow it.
Yeah. Has anybody tried to tissue culture it yet?
I don't know. It's probably easy. It does from cuttings really nicely. It just
so
takes so
slow.
long to finish it afterwards.
Feel that.
Now that we have that greenhouse, we can't shut the fans off, or it'll get to be 130 degrees in the summer.
This guy right
And
here.
melt all the plants, yeah.
Magic.
Went on Alibaba and ordered a generator.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
So does it work? How does it work? You have to be here to turn
No,
it
it
on?
automatically turns on when the power shuts off.
And is it gas operated?
Diesel.
Diesel.
Then we got 500 gallons of diesel tank there.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a 5.9 liter Cummins inline 6. Then I had to have somebody come put it in.
Have you tried it out and everything?
Yeah, you want me to turn it on?
Is it loud?
Oh, yeah.
No. You don't have to. I hope you never have to use it.
I do too, but I still have to start it up every week to make sure it still runs.
Ah, that's smart. I love to see you guys growing. It makes me so happy.
This is enough to run the whole nursery plus 3 other nurseries in case we get larger. Because I only wanted to do it once.
Yeah,
I didn't want to have to do it a second time.
that makes sense.
I made this for my wife. It's going to go in my backyard.
It's going to go in your backyard.
Yeah, once it grows out.
That's amazing. Do you have a lot of plants at your house?
Actually, none.
So this will be like your first little thing?
'cause, my wife has a black thumb, so I have to make it self-watering.
I was
for
about
her.
to ask you about that. I just noticed. So this is self-watering.
Yeah, all you do is plug it into the hose and an electrical outlet, and it waters on its own.
That is so cool.
I originally built this one,
Uh-huh.
and then I built its mirror over here.
What do you got growing on it?
Mostly Anthurium, a few Monsteras.
And this is what the wall looks like now. Well, in September 2025 in Bill's backyard, while Bill was busy inside cooking dinner, I couldn't resist sneaking out to see how the living wall was holding up. Now, Bill was a little hesitant to let me film it. One of their dogs recently decided to play bulldozer, knocking the entire wall over and damaging quite a few specimens. So no, she's not at her absolute best right now. Even though she's in recovery mode, you can see the incredible progress she's made. Some of these plants have really settled in, and it's wild to see how different everything looks compared to when this wall was first built. After dinner, Bill and I sat down for a deep, unfiltered conversation about life, family, the plant industry, and the International Aroid Society. It's one of the most raw interviews I've ever done. You definitely don't want to miss that, so make sure you're subscribed for when that drops. But wait, we're not done yet. Now we're heading back to 2024 to Bill's older greenhouses to look at plants we filmed last year that never made it online. This is exclusive footage you've never seen before, so buckle up. Let's travel back in time.
Stripey is a Tim Anderson cross. Tim Anderson is an old IAS member who is the originator of all the red crystals in the market today. This one, a bunch of different things. He had a nursery called Palm Hammock Orchid Estate that he ran with his wife. He eventually passed away, but not after bringing so many beautiful plants into the world.
How do you think he would feel knowing how big he is now?
I think he wouldn't care.
He wouldn't care.
He was a very humble man.
I get that.
He'd just be happy everybody enjoyed his plants. This is Alocasia longiloba lucifer.
That's so pretty. You've had that for a few years now, haven't you?
I got it as a tiny little pup from my friend Chad Wunderlich in Carolinas. And I've been growing it out. I want to get it big because have you seen what lucifer looks like? The leaves are about this long.
Wow.
And they have huge like devil horns on top of them.
It looks like it has a devil horn now. I can't imagine how it would look when it got massive. Your Bessier. Every time I go through here, I see something new. How much are the Jose Gloriosum crosses going for?
I don't know. I'm going to auction the first one off at the Aroid dinner as a fundraiser.
So you have to be at the fundraiser.
See how much people are willing to pay for them. That was my friend at C&M Growers, Charlene.
Mm-hmm.
Her and her husband make philodendron hybrids. And they gave me some to grow out for them. Of course, the ones I grew are like 8 times bigger than the ones they grew.
Everything grows so crazy here. You've got what are those Dorstenii growing in your anthurium?
Did you know they used to be like coming out of tissue culture?
No way.
Back in the 80s, Oglesby Lab had them in TC. And they used to sell them as houseplants.
I really like
They're actually
them.
pretty bulletproof as a houseplant.
The Dorstenii, they're like prehistoric plants. Do you see the weird plant growing with the anthurium?
That's how they got into my nursery originally.
That's crazy.
Dorstenia turnerifolia.
That inflows longer than my leg. This one. Right here.
Oh,
This back.
wow. That's ridiculous.
I love the color of this inflow. Look at that. There's one before it. I don't even know where it stops. Look how amazing this thing is. How old is this, Bill? Do you know? He's not listening to me.
Which one?
This anthurium, I can never say the name. It's 20 years old. Wow.
What are you standing under there?
This massive anthurium. Look at it.
I gotta move back like 10 feet just to get it in the frame.
It's insane.
If you didn't see the tables, you'd think you were in the Amazon.
Right? Thank you.
This is the 2 best Tap 40s that we produced,
Mixed
which
together.
was 8 times 5. We mixed them together and got these. So one of them we called Papa Legba and the other one was called Papa Midnight. but it's basically two Pap 40s mixed together.
What's hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate is Ace of Spades times Papillonum times Magnificum.
Okay.
So it's Pap Mag times Ace of Spades, basically.
These are like so sharp and pointy.
Yes, and they're very narrow, and they are spectacular.
I really like
It is one of my
these.
favorite hybrids of the last year. I don't remember where they found it. There's a specimen in Mobot of Moodeanum that if you go on Facebook, you can find it in the group. Actually, I've had Red Beauty since the beginning. Since I was one of the first people growing the tissue culture. Back when Branch of Tissue Technologies first released them. Back in, I guess it was late 90s or early 2000s. I can't remember. Moodeanum is a long, narrow V-shaped leaf. The flower is reddish color. And Red Beauty is here's the Red Beauty. It's more rounded. Leaf gets less large, and the flower is like a pinkish color.
I think it's
Not like the Moodeanum. Let's see if I can find the flower.
Want to keep up? Oh, that's not fair.
No flowers.
Maybe we should look
But
at
it
that.
is more of a pinkish color when it comes out.
I'll say.
Unlike the Red Beauty, which is like a more reddish. I mean Moodeanum, which is more red color. See if I can find some down here.
I can try to find a photo online. I'm sure somebody somewhere has posted one, and I'll confirm with you.
So, this is a Red Beauty hybrid that somebody made. It doesn't look like either one of them. But it does have a fruit flower more like Moodeanum. This is a hybrid I made with Red Beauty. And you can see the color of the flower. This is the Moodeanum times wittii.
I have one of these that Ashley gave me from you.
What you're looking at here is a true Philodendron Dark Lord, which is often confused with Philodendron Black Majesty. And no, these names aren't interchangeable despite what sellers may tell you. While I'll admit, they do look similar at a glance, they're actually very different plants with very different histories. Dark Lord is an older, intentionally made Eurobescent hybrid that's been in cultivation for decades. It's known for its elongated, triangular leaves, the deep lobing as it matures, and that dramatic color shift from that deep burgundy red tones when emerging to a dark, almost black and green as the leaf hardens off. Black Majesty, on the other hand, is a much newer hybrid with undisclosed parents. It was selected specifically for its thicker texture, rounder overall form, and consistently dark foliage. It tends to have less dramatic lobing even as it matures. One of the biggest reasons these get mixed up is size. Young plants can look incredibly similar, especially when they're sold small. But as they grow, the difference becomes obvious. So if you're ever unsure which one you have, don't just look at the color, look at the growth habit, the leaf shape, and how the plant matures over time. If you're still not sure, chances are you have the Black Majesty or another dark philodendron, as the true Dark Lord is actually quite rare and hard to come by.
Yeah, everyone's arguing about the variegated one. It's actually Majesty. They don't have real Dark Lord over in Indonesia. They always have Majesties that they sell as Dark Lords. You have to wear gloves when handling it. The roots have the acid in them. The leaves have the acid in them. Every part of it has acid in it.
Okay.
And it's very caustic to your skin.
Okay.
It will literally feel like your hand is on fire. Like you stuck your hand into a...
Do you have gloves in your car?
I have gloves in the office.
Yes.
I'll get some gloves from you.
I touched the most poisonous plant on the property. Now we're going to the bathroom. Oh,
Before it puts her on fire. Like, I'm serious, triple wash your hands. Hunter touched it last year and he was like, oh, it's fine. And then we get to the car and he's like, my hands are on fire.
no, not fine. It's not fine.
He said it wasn't that bad, but
Well, I can already. It's feeling a little hot. Can't take me anywhere.
Acid for its sap of any aroid in the world.
What is it called?
Cynandrospadix vermitoxicus.
I was looking at these when I walked through
They
here the
have
first
seeds in them?
time. Uh-huh.
And that's why they're getting puffy. So after the seeds pop, they will go dormant for the winter time.
That's really cool. Where are they from?
Bolivia. And in the springtime, when it starts to shoot up a spike, then you plant it. But all the roots are going to fall off. All the leaves are going to fall off. Everything will fall off. And it's like a caladium bulb.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time at the nursery. You've seen all 7 greenhouses. And hope you have a good evening. But we got to close up, lock everything up, and release the guard dogs in the day. And if you're still here, you may be food for them.
yum.
And I don't want to have to pick up any parts in the morning, so you got to go.
And that's going to wrap up today's tour with Bill at Silver Krome Gardens. From the new greenhouse to the decade-old hybrids to seeing how plants evolve over time, there's always something to see and learn at Silver Krome. What was your favorite part? Huge thank you to Bill for opening up his space, sharing his knowledge, and letting us document these plants both then and now. All right, before we go, if you need more green in your life, check out the tours playlist or this video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. See you next week. Bye.